I think before we close, we just have time for one or two questions before we wrap up. So I don't know if anybody in the audience has any particular question that they want to ask to any of the panelists. Yes, sir. I don't know if you have a mic out there, or can we get a mic to the front? Please.
My name is Ratan Prakash. I'm representing a company called Tata Hitachi. See, there's a question on the replacement of old ACs with a new one, the Star certified issue. How do we recycle those ACs? If I have an old AC unit and I don't know where to give it, is there a buyback program? I don't see a buyback program. I don't see a buyback program for even the packaging of those, even the refrigerator or any other cooling systems. They don't buy back. So I'm a consumer. How do we handle this issue? Connecting to replacing it with the energy efficient products.
Fair enough. No, thank you. I don't know if anybody has a particular...
I'll just answer you, because we are grappling with this issue. You see, we have a rule which has been in existence since 2011, which talks about what is called extended producer's responsibility, where the manufacturer or the producer of a particular good is supposed to take it back and send it for recycling. And there's a value chain associated with the entire process. Unfortunately, the rules didn't work for almost 6 years before they got revised to make it more friendly towards all the stakeholders in this process. Since 2016, this rule is in place about how do you recycle old electrical equipments, electronic items like mobile phones or various other equipments that you may have. Well, we are still struggling to find a way out of that. So we need your cooperation, basically, how to take it forward.
Any other question?
Yep.
One last question.
Hi.
Go ahead.
Hi. My question is to Mr. Jha. Mr. Jha, you mentioned that India is one of those developing countries where the forest cover has actually been increasing. My question is, what about the forest quality? What are the efforts underway to monitor the quality of the forest and to ensure that even the quality improves, not only the quantity?
Yeah, that's a good question you have asked, because it's also very, very important in our context. You see, our overall area under forest has increased. Now, there are basically three categories for measuring this increase. One is called very dense forest, where the crown cover is more than 70%. Then you have what is called the moderately dense forest, where the crown cover is between 40 to 70%. And then you have what is called degraded or open forest, where the crown cover becomes less than 40%. Now there is an increase in the moderate to very dense. So that means there is an improvement in the quality of the forest as far as that is concerned. But at the same time, there has been an increase in the moderate to open forest or degraded forest. So that means both are parallel things. Where the crown cover is good or moderate, some improvements take place in other area, but this is more in the northeast and in central India, where as it is you have the best forests. But moderate forests to open forests is also increasing simultaneously. There's a lot of increase in the encroachments in the forest area, which is a big challenge for us. The good part is that the trees outside forest has increased remarkably. So that means a lot of effort is now taking place in planting trees which are not really in earmarked forest areas. Two reasons. One is that a number of companies have come up which are raising their own plantations to meet, particularly paper and pulp industry raise their own plantation. The second is, of course, the people's participation in increasing afforestation program. But a very important question, we are trying to address this challenge more effectively as we step into the next decade. Thank you.
Right, I'll just quickly wrap it up. I would have loved to carry on because this is such an important topic. Let me just quickly wrap up by highlighting the key takeaways for me. I think firstly, there is no doubt the government has really taken an incredible step to set the agenda and we've achieved a lot, and hopefully we'll be successful. I think, Rajiv, your concerns around energy is valid. I think access to electricity is still a critical issue we have. And I think now with renewable energy coming down, I think the tariffs will really increase demand once the demand stuff is sorted out. In terms of the whole debate about job creation versus sustainability versus poverty alleviation, sometimes I find these things clash. So us as a community will have to figure out how do we balance all the three out, yet at the same time, each one of them is extremely important. I think it's very encouraging to hear the kind of steps the cement industry is taking with regards to energy efficiency. I think all of us in industry, if we can do our own part in reducing the carbon footprint, I think we in industry can do our part as well. Randall, I love the point you made about making it personal for employees. I think that's an incredible, interesting point. And if each one of us in our own companies can make this whole point around NDCs and making the whole sustainable thing personal, I think we can make a big difference. I think in terms of implementation, it sounds that we have the right targets, we have the right goals for the country, but I think we can improve the implementation part of it. And if we can, I think that'll be really very powerful. I love the point you made, Anirban, around leapfrogging. I think, Randall, you made the similar point as well, that we have an opportunity in India, just like we've done in telecom, like we've done in a lot of other industries, and I think Mahindra has done a fantastic job with EV. I think we really have an opportunity in buildings and storage and electric vehicles to really leapfrog technology, given the fact there's a long way to go. But eventually, I think it's important, I think, sir, from your point, that we in industry can really partner up with the government and make an incredible change in this whole field of sustainability. So with that, I'd like to thank all my panelists for taking the time, and hopefully all of y'all will have a great lunch. So thank you very much.